Good afternoon. Welcome to the final session of the BPI Theatre here at Bio. In about 20 minutes or so, we have our keynote presentation from Dawn Ecker from BDO, focusing on biomanufacturing supply and demand, industry trends and projected impacts. But before that, I am delighted to be hosting a couple of insider interviews with some key opinion leaders within the industry. So, Indian biomanufacturing firm Enzene has taken great strides over the past years and is set to open its first North American production site later this year, a 54,000 square foot facility in New Jersey. The firm is also one of only a handful of CDMOs that offers a fully connected continuous manufacturing process for mammalian-based systems. And therefore, to discuss further both of these points and more, I am delighted to be joined by Himanshu Gadgil, the CEO of Enzene. Himanshu, welcome.
Thank you, Dan. Check. Thanks, Dan.
There we go. We've got it working. So let's begin with that continuous manufacturing platform, the EnzeneX. You gave a fantastic presentation earlier describing it, but for those who weren't here, can you give us a brief overview of what the platform is and how it works?
Yeah, so we are perhaps the only fully connected continuous manufacturing platform that is available through a CDMO. What that means is it's truly from end to end. The key word here is connected, because there are various ways in which people can think about continuous manufacturing. But unless you fully connect all the unit operations, where starting from perfusion all the way to drug substances connected, you don't really get the footprint advantage that you would need to address the cost of goods.
Let's talk about those perceptions, because I think there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to continuous manufacturing, especially in the biologics space. Someone who does perfusion is doing continuous manufacturing, some would say. But can you talk a bit more about those sort of misconceptions?
Yeah, so it's about how you manage your production where you continuously get a product, right? So what is continuous?
Oh, exactly. What is continuous?
Nothing is continuous, right? So time also moves in these steps. So it can either be a microsecond step or a 1 hour step or a 24 or a leap year, whatever, right? So nothing really is continuous from that perspective. But from bioprocess perspective, what people try to do is manage their production so that you continuously have a product coming out, right? So the way you can do it is you take a fed batch, and instead of running one bioreactor, you run 10 bioreactors and then marry it with a downstream process and run a campaign mode. That's continuous because you get product. That's what some people call continuous. Perfusion is not new. Perfusion came before fed batch, right? So you're going to do continuous cell culture exchange. That's perfusion. Now you may call that continuous. There are some people who've done well, who have a capture step that they marry to perfusion. That's sometimes called continuous, but none of this is truly continuous. And from a perspective of gaining cost of good advantage, what you need to do is you have to connect all of these unit ops together, because that's when you get the footprint shrinkage, which is necessary to reduce your cost of goods. Now, if you run perfusion daily and you're collecting that perfusate, you still need to have those whole tanks. As I was talking about earlier in my presentation, unless you connect it, you're not making it a short footprint. Because we are connected, we can manufacture 10 kilograms right now in a 1,200 square foot, clean room to get the cost of goods advantage, also to get the carbon footprint advantage.
Let's focus on those costs of goods, because I'm only aware of one other CDMO that claims to offer a fully continuous manufacturing platform here, and they have said that it's their goal to bring down the cost of a gram to around $50, which is kind of incredible. At Enzene, with your platform, what sort of cost are you looking at here, and how far are you off that?
So we want to do $50, and we can do that. We'll be able to do that within the next year or so, because right now we're at 10 kilograms. Next year we'll be at 40 kilograms per batch. But that $50 is not our cost of manufacturing. I don't know what others are presenting, but it is going to be $50 for our clients, because that's what matters, right? What does the client, because from a CDMO's perspective, we'll say our cost of goods is $50 per gram, but we are charging $2 million per batch. So what does that translate to for the client? That's the most important conversation we should have. So we are looking at $50 cost for the client.
So Himanshu, $50 per gram, I'm sure everyone would be very interested, but clearly there are limitations with this platform. It can't be used. There must be unsuitable products, for example. There must be limitations when running this line. So can you talk us through those sort of problems?
Yeah, so look, I think what I can tell you is in the last 2 years, we've converted 30 fed batch processes into continuous, and we have a 100% success rate. So we haven't really seen a product that works in fed batch that does not work in perfusion. On the other hand, we have 5 products in the pipeline for a client that did not work in fed batch because the product just falls apart during fed batch, which works beautifully in perfusion. So any product that works with fed batch should work with continuous manufacturing. I don't see any reason why it won't.
Interesting. Okay. So beyond continuous manufacturing, are there any other sort of process optimization technologies that you have either invested in or are developing at Enzene?
Yeah, so we are looking. So we have our EnzeneX 1.0 platform. The EnzeneX 2.0 platform is where we are going to have all the analytics and integrate it along with our fully connected continuous manufacturing. Right. So you get real-time data continuously, even for the analytics.
Between that platform and the EnzeneX, I want to switch gears slightly and talk about the New Jersey facility. Are these being implemented at that facility?
So we are going to start with EnzeneX at the New Jersey facility because it's happening this year already in October, right? But that will get upgraded to EnzeneX 2.0 as soon as we have that implemented back in India.
And that's really the goal of this facility is to have those platforms available to, I assume, US clients?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, one of the problems to solve is really to democratize access for CDMOs for US-based companies, right? Especially the early stage. And so we want to bring the best technology that we have in the US as well.
What you mentioned October as you're looking at that as a sort of operational start date. What response have you had from industry ahead of that? Have you already got customers lined up?
So we are booked until May of 2025 already.
Okay, that answers that one. Yeah, that's.
So we are looking to put additional lines so that we can service our clients more.
And again, I'm sure you can't mention the actual names of the clients, but who is generally coming to you? Is it the larger pharma companies? Is it the small biotechs?
So the first set of clients that we have are a early stage biotech company and a very, very well established pharma company. So it's kind of a mix of both.
And I imagine for a company that might be working in biosimilars, being able to use this sort of platform to reduce the cost of goods so dramatically could give them a bit of a market advantage in what is, get a larger slice of of a pie that has many players.
Yeah, so from a product perspective, the goals of biosimilars is to reduce this cost of goods. So absolutely yes. But what happens is when you have a extremely effective manufacturing platform, the cost advantage for that gets transferred to the partners, even for novel biologics as well, right? So it works beautifully for biosimilars, for novel biologics, difficult to express molecules, ADCs.
Himanshu, our time is coming to an end, but I do want to bring up finally another development at Enzene, and that is your discovery services, which you've recently launched. Can you speak a little bit about those?
Yeah, so our long-term goal is to become a modality agnostic, CDMO player in the space of biologics. Right now, we are restricting ourselves to biologics, so there are all of these great new modalities that are coming, ADCs, the gene therapies, viral vectors. So we want to definitely start branching out into those. And we have a lot of clients for whom we are doing the talks to clinical development work. So we want to move further upstreams and be able to support our clients for various modalities in our discovery. So our discovery will have not just recombinant proteins, synthetic peptides, ADCs, AAV. So all of those early stage, we will start supporting our clients. And then from there, we will branch out to in future also include manufacturing capabilities around this. So the goal of our discovery is to really further enhance our support to our clients and help us branch out then into newer modalities, which our aspiration is.
And this is a relatively brand new service. What infrastructure have you got in place to support this?
So we can do the entire biology as well as, so in chemistry they say biology and chemistry. Here it is biology and biology. So we can manufacture the reagents as well as do all of the assays that are required for the early studies, for discovery studies, and we have a full-fledged platform that allows us to do that.
Well, with that, Himanshu, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you on stage today. Please keep us updated with all developments at Enzene, because you clearly are a company that are not stopping here. So thank you once again.
Thank you, and thanks everyone for your time.